Hey everyone. We've had a whole hodgepodge of video releases from me recently. None of my usual schedule on Monday, right? So I really liked the reaction some of you had. I wasn't sure if it was going to tank my algorithm throwing a half-hour reaction to the election kind of video thing, but that got some good traction and really good feedback. And I very much appreciate everyone's insightful and kind responses. And some people are feeling fed up and fired up. And yeah, let this radicalize you. While we're talking about, by the way, bad reporting and bad hot takes, please do the best you can, especially with the Thanksgiving holiday coming up. I don't even recommend talking politics, honestly, around Thanksgiving. It's going to be brutal this year. But please, wherever you hear it misspoken, stop saying Trump gained ground with this group or that group or Latinos or Muslims or like the people he's been brutalizing. Trump didn't. If you look at the numbers, Trump has, what is it, 3 million fewer votes than he had in 2020. And I realize that late ballots are still being counted, but like the numbers are coming in. These far fewer votes. What happened is that the Democrats had like, I think it's 14 million fewer votes than they had in 2020 because they didn't run a campaign. They didn't have an open primary. They just said, we have no policies. Kamala is brat. Blow shit up around the world. So yeah, what are you going to do with that? But again, manifold factors, lots of different factors. And the old video, if you watched it, where I was looking for where Hank Green had talked about simple problems and big complex problems, I finally got an email back. So I linked Hank's video where he gets into that, talking about solar-powered roads, if you can believe it. But neither here nor there. I've been very happy with the feedback I've been getting from everyone. Almost all the feedback. I had one viewer insist to me that what is happening in Gaza and the West Bank is not a genocide. I was tempted just to tell them, like, okay, fuck off. But instead, I'm not going to do that. I will ask, what would be a genocide? If this isn't it for you, where is the line? Like, how many dead children do you have to see? Because we have, just every hospital bombed to shit. We have intentional targeting of journalists, intentional targeting of aid workers. We have people being displaced from their homes en masse and being explicitly told, you will never come back to your homes ever again. Like, if this is not a genocide, if this is not slaughter of civilians on a mass scale for political reasons, what is? I mean, most of the Jewish people in my life at this point are referring to this as a Holocaust. And due respect to whatever standards you happen to have, the person who emailed me, I'm going to kind of go with them on the authority on this one. But like, yes, what this particular administration is doing, like what Bibi and the Likud party is doing, up to and including the acts of perfidy, so like, which is like one of the most international law violating things imaginable. All right, again, if you don't think that's the case, I'm never going to convince you. So like I said, I mean, I'm not going to tell this person anything that they're going to listen to me on. But a lot of you are listening to me and feeling inspired by a few things. And the biggest one, of course, is that the upcoming horrors potentially in our own country. And you're getting inspired to find your own resources and your own people and to look out for one another. Whenever the government tells you, you can't have this thing, you can't do this thing, we're going to stop you from this thing, you as an independent, sovereign human being with self-determining future, you have the right to tell the government to fuck off, right? You can make and print your own guns. I'm not going to tell you how and get deplatformed. You can source your own birth control. In all 50 states, it is shelf-stable for more than 4 years. Everybody, whether you have a uterus or don't or anything, you should all be stockpiling Plan B and miso cards and everything else. You can DIY your own HRT. I'm not going to get deplatformed by talking about how you do that. But every last thing, you can get VPNs, so you can get all the porn that you need, because they're coming for that too, I'm sure. Which, by the way, like, it's funny, I could just have a VPN ad, right? I'm a YouTuber, right? I'm not shilling any products out here. One of these days, probably when I talk about more the gun stuff, we'll talk about various gun tubers, and we'll talk about Patreon and things like that. I don't have a Patreon, as you know. I don't have any plans to have a Patreon. But if you're really looking, especially this holiday season, to direct any kind of amount of money that you might have a little extra of in a way that can make some impacts in the really marginalized people around you. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about a lot more gun stuff as well. I'm going to talk about more tool stuff, not just guns, because those are tools, but I have a lot of new tool videos coming up soon. We're going to have some exciting news involving the devious decoder cards, especially for people who live on the other side of the globe. We're going to talk about some very fun things that I've been working on for a while. An old employee of mine had an idea about an underdoor tool and made a one-off, and then nothing ever happened for years with it. And you're going to see some very cool underdoor tool things, and a new project relating to gear transport, especially if you're flying, which, yeah, I'm going to have more videos about flying. As you know, I've been on Alaska a great deal. I have a whole thing about how Alaska dead names their passengers, even after telling them that they were like going to use a preferred name. It's a whole thing. I've been posting about it on Reddit. I've been interviewing lots of Alaska staff when I'm in the air with them, and so we'll have all the results of that we'll talk to you about. Speaking of interviews, I had my phone call today with Linda DiMartino, the voice of Otis Elevators. That did happen. Some of you caught wind that I was going to be talking to her, and she was a treat. That's all going to go up as a video probably later on. She was very happy to share that story with me. She's sending me some photos and other artifacts from her time at Otis, so I want to get those from her and incorporate those into the edit. Sorry about the whiskey in that cocktail I mentioned in a note, right? Howlerhead is apparently the banana bourbon that I was excited about showing y'all. Apparently it's run by shitty people. And fortunately, there are other banana bourbons, right? I'm going to just do a taste test. I'll do a taste test with, I think it's Malarkey bourbon. I think Ambrose has a banana bourbon. Whiskey Smith has a banana bourbon. And there's even a Mastodon user who reached out to me. So Shannon reached out to me and said, hey, if you want to learn about infusions, you could do your own infusions. So maybe they're going to tell me how to do my own infusions and I make my own banana bourbon. We'll see. For now, though, back to air travel, which Tara and I have a lot of that coming up on the horizon. I have a bone to pick with American. I mean, I have many bones to pick with American Airlines. It's been the roughest part of the Alaska sort of integration, transition thing that I've had going on. I want to talk to you about boarding passes. I don't want to know if I'm crazy. A boarding pass, arguably in my mind, needs to show you three things. It needs to show you your seat, because, well, you need to know where to put your butt, but you only need that information when you're on the plane. Going through the airport, where things are hectic and so forth, what I really think you need are two pieces of information, which is where do I go and when do I have to be there? What gate is the plane at, and when does it board? Because boarding time, it matters more to me than flight time. I'm not flying the plane. I don't care what the flight time is, just like I don't really care what the flight number is. I'm not the pilot. But boarding time, and especially the gate, where the frig do I go? Delta gets it. Delta has evolved their boarding pass over time. You can see this is an old version of the boarding pass, which was, like most boarding passes, clumsy and a little hard to read. But when they evolved it, they used a design, and they still to this day use a design where it pops. It says, look, boom, big numbers, here's your gate. Bang, big numbers, here's your boarding time. I love the paper Delta boarding passes. American. Let me show you my American boarding pass. Here is a boarding pass that I was friggin' handed in Florida when I was leaving Orlando some time ago. You tell me what gate I'm supposed to go to. The gate number is on here. Tell me what the gate number of my flight was. I'll wait. Found it yet? Have you found it yet? No? 5 more seconds. This is the gate number. 54. Really? Really? Really, American? Is this the best you can do? Clearly, we have lots of problems to solve in our society, big and small. I just hope you're here with us and we all work to solve them together. Better videos coming out soon. I know I've got travel and holidays on the horizon. I'm sure you do too. But yeah, stick with me. I'll keep entertaining you. In the meantime, stay safe out there.